Rob, what is our first main topic today?
Well, our first main topic comes to us from Fence Halliman. Hello, John and Rob. It's always sad to me when someone who is really talented throws their career away, and that looks like what's happening to Armie Hammer. Anyway, did you see that Miles Teller has now officially replaced Hammer in the making of the Godfather series coming to Paramount? I think the series is called The Offer. Anyway, I wanted to know what you thought on the move, and do you think Teller will do a good job? Good job. Well, John, Variety says this. Miles Teller, producer Al Ruddy, in the upcoming Paramount Plus series, The Offer, which, by the way, I can't wait for, which details the behind-the-scenes story of the making of The Godfather. Teller takes over the role from Armie Hammer, whose exit from the series was exclusively reported by Variety in January amid sexual misconduct allegations. The Offer will tell the story of Ruddy's experience as a producer on The Godfather back in 1972. Paramount Plus has given the limited series a 10-episode order. Well, John, first, I have to say I really like the idea that this series is going to be longer than The Godfather itself. That's kind of cool. But I really can't wait for this show. And unfortunately, I'm a big Armie Hammer fan. I think I really became a fan of his when I saw The Social Network. I thought he was terrific in that. And of course, he's done a lot of great roles, but he's never really broken through, I think, the way he probably should have. He was great as Ilya Kuryakin in Man from U.N.C.L.E., and he's had a lot of great roles and supporting roles in a lot of great things, been part of great ensemble casts. But, I got to say, wacky stuff going on with him. But I love Miles Teller. Ever since I saw Whiplash, the movies that he's been in, I've been a big fan of his as an actor. And I got to tell you, one of the things that I think they did right, Paramount did right. They obviously like him over at Paramount because he's playing Goose's son in Top Gun Maverick. And, in a studio, when the casting people at the studio like an actor, they tend to bring them back over and over again for various projects. So it doesn't surprise me that Miles Teller is in this series. And I think I like the fact that we're now seeing movie stars go between movies and these long form series. As I said, I loved Kate Winslet in Mare of Easttown. I think she's going to win an Emmy, and I'm pretty excited for all this. And I think they made a good choice. What do you think?
Yeah, well, like you said, the idea of this show is fantastic. The behind the scenes story of how The Godfather came to be, how that movie came to be. You and I are both suckers for the true Hollywood story behind the scenes of how a movie got made kind of stuff. We love this stuff.
Yep.
And for them to do it on what some people say might be the greatest film of all time is kind of an idea. You're right. The thing about Armie Hammer, for me, first of all, yeah, I loved him absolutely in The Social Network. I didn't even know until weeks after I saw the film that he was one guy. I really thought they had twins. I really thought it was twins. What does he say? I'm 6'2", 230 pounds, and there's two of me, or something along those lines.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's where I really took notice of him. But it was what his true real coming out party was that movie he did with I believe it was Timothy Chalamet, Call Me by Your Name. Where if I'm not mistaken, I believe he got an Academy Award nomination for that. And ever since, he's just kind of showing, of course, you mentioned Man from U.N.C.L.E. and stuff like that. He's a great actor, but if you're the studio and you're trying to make a movie that you're going to invest, or you're trying to make a show that you're probably going to invest at minimum the tens, maybe into the hundreds of millions of dollars, you can't have the off-camera shenanigans of one of your actors being the main headline story and distracting from your show. And who knows what's going to come out a little bit later on. And it's just not good business for you to continue to use them. Now, look, as a fan of Armie Hammer, I hope that it turns out that none of these accusations are true. And I hope that comes to light. And I hope that's what it is. But if you're the studio financing this, you can't just sit down, cross your fingers, and hope. You've got to do what's best for your project. And what's best for their project right now is to take the distraction out, which is Armie Hammer, unfortunately. But you got to take him out and you got to get somebody else. Rob, I've been saying forever, people sleep on Miles Teller. This dude, now if you want to hear real testimony, Rob, you and I have talked about this before. Listen to J.K. Simmons talk about how good of an actor Miles Teller is. Because Simmons has said ad nauseum many times, dude, I don't win that Oscar that I won for Whiplash if it wasn't for Miles Teller. Like, Miles Teller, he hasn't always been in the best projects. Granted, by the way, Dank Review sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I mean, he's not always in the best projects, but he is a fantastic actor. And that's why Tom Cruise wants him in there. That's why a lot of people lining up. And you know what? I think this is going to work really well. I am excited for this show as well. I'm excited to see what they do with this. I just want to see the show. And listen, all I usually care about is talent. They went out and got a guy who is extremely talented to replace another guy who is also extremely talented. So I think it turns out to be a very good wash. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to see this thing. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? First of all, what do you even think about the idea of this 10-episode show chronicling how the Godfather, the movie, came to be? I love it. And what do you think about, hey, listen, if they can't be Armie Hammer, what do you think about Miles Teller taking over the role? Whatever you guys think, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.